Hello there, Nathan here from the photography team. Myself and Ben have just recently purchased a X-E2 each. Now these cameras came out quite a few years ago. Obviously we picked them up used for a couple £100. The reason we bought these is for our street photography, and we do intend to use these at weddings. It's just a bit more unobtrusive than a big X-T2 with a battery grip and large lens, and you can get in nice and close to these, and you can almost mingle in with the guests. Now obviously these have the 16 megapixel X-Trans 2 sensor, which is the same as the X-T1, so brilliant sensor, still up to today's modern standards. The image quality that you get from this is amazing. High ISO performance is great, and with the addition of the new update for this camera, you've now got the electronic shutter feature, so you can use this up to 1/32,000th of a second. Great little piece of kit. What I wanted to do is just a quick little tip video with the X-E2. Now, with this camera, you have this lovely little pop-up flash, which is tiny, very harsh, and I just wanted to show you a little tip with this. So what I'll do is I'll turn it on, and we will go to the shutter sync speed, which is 1/80th of a second. We'll go to f4, and then we'll pop this on to ISO 800. There we go. So first off, I'm going to take an image without the flash. Okay, now I'm going to take one with the flash, pointing directly at the camera. Okay, now the tip is, when you point this directly at the camera or at your subject, it's going to be quite harsh. Now, the tip is just pop the flash so it's pointing upwards, and it'll bounce off the ceiling. Only really usable when you have got a nice low ceiling that I do have in this room, and make sure your ISO is up a little bit, because there's not much power with this flash. But now we're going to do, we'll take the same image with the flash directed off the ceiling, and what I'll do is I'll now just get those three images into the computer and show you the difference. And I'm sure you'll agree that using this flash as a bounce flash gives a much nicer image. Okay, so I'm at the computer now. I've put those three files into Lightroom. I'm just going to show you the difference that you get by simply putting the flash up to the ceiling with your finger. Now, as you'll see, here's the first image. This was taken obviously with no flash. You'll see the settings we've got here. It's in manual mode, X-E2 1/80th of a second at f4 ISO 800, and we're using the 35mm f2R WR lens. Now you'll see this is without flash. Obviously we're underexposed. Yes, we could bring that back, because as we know, the dynamic range within the Fuji is excellent, and obviously this is an example of the dynamic range within the Fuji X-E2. Now I've actually brought that up 2.5 stops, and you can still see that that is a lovely image. Yes, we've got a little bit of noise, but that's to be expected. We'll move on to the, I just wanted to say I've actually put classic chrome camera calibration onto these images, because that's my favourite at the moment. This is the image where the flash was directed directly at the camera, and as you'll see, we'll zoom in, we've got a hot spot here. You know, the camera's okay, but as you'll see, massive shadow here, which is obviously as a result of the flash being directed directly at the camera here. What we'll do now is go on to the image where the flash was bounced off the ceiling, and you'll see a hell of a lot of difference. So this is the image where the flash was bounced off the ceiling. We'll go in nice and close, focused in on the lens here, so you got the writing here is in focus. It is a little bit dark in this lens, but that's obviously because I had a lens hood on, so the flash bouncing off the ceiling and coming down is obviously hit the lens hood. But what you'll notice, I mean, if I just give that a little bit of plus exposure, we can bring down the highlights a little bit. But what you will notice is that there's no shadow now behind. And that's as a result of the flash hitting the ceiling and then filling the whole room, so the actual ceiling becomes the light source rather than the tiny flash on top of the camera. Yeah, I hope you'll agree that that is a better image. Looks a bit more professional. And like I said, what I suggest is if you do want to use that method, make sure you've got a nice low ceiling, and make sure you have the ISO set to at least 800 on the X-E2, because there isn't much power within the flash, and bouncing it up to the ceiling and back down again, obviously you need to lose a little bit more power. You're still going to get the TTL functionality, which is excellent. And yes, that's what I do now with this flash. If I'm taking some images with a flash, I'll bounce it up, and it looks a little bit more professional. I hope you like that little tip. Obviously that can be used with other Fuji cameras that have that little pop-up flash, as long as it is one that does sort of direct up. And we will be doing a little review on the X-E2, although it is an old camera. We're really happy with that, and we're going to go out and do some street photography and then give you a quick review on that camera. And we have heard that there is actually going to be an X-E3 released, so we're looking forward to that. I would assume that will have the same 24 megapixel camera as the X-T2. It will have the joystick and a few other little features, so that should be an excellent camera. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. My name's Nathan, and I'm from the photography team.